Hello, I'm Jimothy. It's the Claydols up against the Scythe Lords. I apologize, in the previous video, I called the team the Claydols. It was actually Giraffarig Gang. That was my mistake. Both of them have GG in there, so I made an error. Anyway, this is hellpowna up against 918. And listen, many of you in the comments are confused about who's playing at what time because they have a different showdown name than their Smogon name. But believe me, folks, I share in your confusion because I can't keep track of these people either. My name on showdown is just Jim Cool. Anyway, we've got a Blaziken. Turn 1, will Blaziken defeat the allegations? Moltres has entered. It's toxic. I like toxic Blaziken. It's a great mid-ground move. It can hit the water types. The Blaziken also does not have leftovers. That's worth noting. Whoa, Hidden Power Grass was a great move from hellpowna there. Going to Claydol as the interim Tyranitar check. But we go Scam on the HP Bug. Bit of maneuvering. A little bit of maneuvering. Oh my gosh, a critical hit. I thought a flinch was coming too. And Blaziken is in a fantastic position. A truly excellent position. It is vulnerable to the sandstorm created by 918 himself. You got your trainer to blame for that sandstorm defeating you, Blaziken. You have only your trainer to blame. Oh my gosh. That's many protections in a row. The Hidden Power is no longer KOs. We're about to see a lot more chip heal. That Blaziken thus far is not beating the allegations. No, no, no. Looks like a mixed Metagross though. Some sort of mixed offense from 918 here. Going for this Skarmory. Why won't you die? Why won't you die? What's up with Skarmory? What's up with you? You did get crit. I suppose this is comeuppance for the critical hit. It's true. But that's a bit crazy, isn't it? Okay. Finally. Finally the Skarmory falls. It's a Moltres entry point, but Blaziken did a good job toxicking the guy before. Truly. Moltres is a powerful threat, so you're very glad that it's toxic. You are very glad. Absolutely. You can get wisped here very easily. We're Dragon Dancing up. No Skarmory to worry about anymore, but there is of course a Metagross and a Claydol to thwart this. Dealing a respectable 77 to that Claydol. So as to potentially break through it later. Blaziken has earned a KO. No type berry. Sorry, not type berry. Boost berry thus far on the Blaziken. So I'm not sure what the item was. Could be charcoal. Maybe charcoal or something like that. Or lumberry. We will never know. Because it has now made a trip to the other side. We have Celebi. What a great nickname on this side of the field. Celebi. With an I. That is the British English spelling. And a Perish Song is going to do something for someone. Creating a reason to switch out of the field. Now this battle, I can't quite make heads or tails of who is winning here. Personally. I suppose beware of Coco, also known as hellpowna of the Claydols, is probably in the lead. With the spike and the Metagross chipped and the tar in the back. It's looking pretty good. Oh dear. An overheat miss is a disaster. Although I think you could have just clicked flamethrower. That would have also hit, but it was more damage on a switch into overheat. It was. Or you don't have flamethrower, maybe. No, you have it. Was it necessary to overheat there? I'm not sure. Okay, 918 might just make something happen permanently with the Calm Mind Celebi here. Although it doesn't appear to have HP fire. And of course, Perish Song is going to stop this. It is. Recover Loss would be very good if you have it, but that would be a weird set. Does not look like it. The big thing that hellpowna still has in the back pocket is that Tyranitar at full HP. And this is good. You have really stopped this Celebi in its tracks. And preserved your Metagross as well somehow. The Metagross is still alive. It's on 4%. Probably just a sacrifice at this point. 918 chooses to perish that Celebi instead of a different path in life. Okay, can a bulky tar live this hit and KO back with Rock Slide? No. The Salamence is going to exit instead. But with an Intimidate, now we're in a different spot. And it's Rock Slide to Crunch. How interesting. Unfortunate luck on this one, but 918 played that well in the end there. A careful line of play against the Tyranitar that could have ended things. Now we have 48, also known as 48. But the 40 part is in another language, but the 8 part is numerized against Pokology. Claydols versus Scythe Lords. It's true. That's who's playing. Will Pokology bring something crazy? Pokology is the crazy guy who brings such fellas as Jumpluff, Macargo, Vileplume. You know what I mean? So far it's very normal. Swampert Zapdos. Celebi is... Well, what a stay. You're staying in. With Swampert in the face of Celebi at this stage in the game, at this hour, that was quite a risk. It's Regirock in the back. Regirock's usually a lead, but in the back this time. Explosion? No, just a Thunder Wave. Alright, that's interesting. What are we going to do with this Regirock here? What's going to happen? Thunder Wave again, trying to catch something else, but no, Swampert comes in and thwarts such an attempt. Cloyster Regirock team. The Celebi is causing Pokology a lot of issues, really. And Pokology is staying with Celebi weak Pokemon in many situations. That is bravery beyond anything. And that Cloyster just blew up. No layers to speak of. I guess chipping Celebi in this game is more important than making layers. Pokology has decided. Regirock could have superpower on it, which could threaten that Skarmory, and it blows up. Regirock is out of the picture. It's gone. This is a very interesting situation. Because this Zapdos is a problem for 48. Celebi's too low. Gengar threatens it too. Celebi needs to find an avenue to heal back up. So that trade with the Cloyster earlier, it was weird looking. You always want to make spikes with a spikes team, but dealing 70 to the Celebi was deemed more worthwhile for Pokology than making layers. And now, okay, 48 should be able to heal now. And now you're in trouble, Pokology. Your gambit may not have paid off this time. Oh. No, you protect. May not have recover. No, it looks... It's at least 3 attacks. Of course it is. It's spikes. Whoa. You just lost Gengar somehow. What was he thinking there? Thinking of the Giga Drain. Whoa, folks. Gengar's gone. I mean, Zapdos is still a threat, though. And you got a healthy Swampert-ish. Healthy-ish Swampert. Bringing in Tyranitar for a moment. Double back to Swampert to chip heal it. Which is absolutely imperative. It is absolutely imperative to heal up your Swampert to withstand this Aerodactyl and Tyranitar. And yet, it's tough to switch in against the enemy's Swampert with any of your Pokemon. Your Zapdos could do it. It could come in its full health, but you can only do that once. You're choosing to do it now. Pokology getting bailed out a bit with these Hydro Pump dodges. Zapdos... Oh, wow. A Thunderbolted over-prediction. It's a bold move to make. I respect it, but... 48 was just happy to probably be brought into Torrent and done Torrent Hydro Pump there. In the worst case of Hidden Power Grass. Pokology clicked it again. Did it again. And got the para to boot. The clicking it again is a even bolder decision. Then it paid off. Okay. It is all up to Zapdos for Pokology. Truly. And I think you got to just sacrifice Tyranitar at this point. Chooses to instead get Zapdos in one last time. Maybe Tyranitar's the avenue to victory after all for Pokology. What kind of Tyranitar is it? We don't know. It could be Dance. If it's Dance, there's a chance. Bringing it back in on Crunch. Trying to make something happen. Attempting. We got Focus Punch. Oh my gosh. You've punched a Swampert. Could this be a crucial moment? I think your real concern is the arrow. Oh, you're the fastest Swampert, so you can surf the guy. But it can protect out of range and then Torrent Hydro Pump you. I don't know. Maybe Pokology's thinking that a Hydro Pump miss is the only way. Protecting so that the enemy actually heals out of Torrent range. Now no more Torrent. But if you ever hit the guy, he gets Torrent back. Folks. Oh dear. Hydro Pump? No, it goes for Earthquake. Wait. I thought for a moment that Hydro Pump was out of PP. Alright, well, I'm pretty sure 48 lives a Surf. I guess the Hydro Pump. Oh, interesting. Stalling out the Hydro Pumps with pressure as a plan? Because that just consumes 2 PP right there. So maybe, sorry, I think in replays it doesn't show correctly the PP from considering pressure. So maybe there is no Hydro Pumps anymore after that one. Maybe that sacrifice existed to get rid of the Hydro Pumps. And then engineer a situation where Swampert is last against Tar and Arrow and is victorious. Could that be it? It's still rough to 1v1 this guy who's also chip healing. This is quite the end game, I must admit. And gonna just surf. Swampert's very low still. I wonder if you just taking the Hydro Pump was a better play. I don't even know. This is quite a complex endgame situation, I must admit. And A critical crunch probably just sealed this game. You clicked raw. Oh, that is... It's over. Yeah, double edge is enough. I don't think that pokology could have withstanded this, though, especially if it's a special Tyranitar. It was going to do too much. I think the crunch into the double edge would have done it. The raw was an interesting move. Was that the right move? This is a thinker. This one was a damn thinker. The pokology played it very interestingly. I kind of liked that explode on the Celebi instead of spiking up, because it turned a Zapdos into a real threat, but then your Gengar just got sniped randomly. That was quite a... You still almost created a win con with the Swampert versus the Tyranitar last, but not quite. Good attempt, though. And quite an interesting squad as well. And we have Big William up against Hiro. Let's see what Big Will has to offer. With a Tyranitar aptly named Earthquake. But it's actually a special Tyranitar, which is the real joke all along. But this could have Earthquake still. It could be Pursuit Tower with Earthquake. And here's Gengar switching in against Suicune, and that tells us a story. This is your best bet against Suicune, is offensively threatening it with Gengar. That tells us stuff. Is there a Blissey in the back? I think now that's less likely. Oh, actually you're going for this. You're going for the Destiny Bond situation. Okay, it's Fortress. It is. There's no more spin blocker for you, Big William. And if Gengar really was your best Suicune answer, and you have no Blissey, I think that this Zapdos is about to really cause Oh, you just exploded into a Gengar. That's rough. Hiro got you with that one. I think Hiro might have picked up the lack of Blissey based on the gameplay and then considered, you know what? Maybe this Fortress needs to explode on this Zapdos urgently. Based on what Big Will is telling me. Based on the story being told, you know? I think if there was a Blissey, you would have gone there. Maybe that's what Hiro is thinking. There still could be a Blissey, by the way. We don't rule it out, but... I don't think there is, actually. And the Hidden Power Grass on the Swampert, I mean, it already hits Tyranitar in front of it, but it also mid-grounds this. And at this point, if there's no Blissey, then the best bet you've got against Zapdos is ground types, right? Big Will maybe just banking on no Hidden Power Grass there. And what a nightmare matchup for Big Will. Not bringing Blissey against Zapdos, Suicune, and Raikou. Jeez. There is a Blissey all along. What am I saying? I think that there must be a Doug, and that's what Big Will's worried about, is the Doug in the back. There's got to be a Doug with this team. I think Big Will's just trying to be very careful against the Doug, but perhaps the threat of a Doug in the back was the real villain this whole time in this story. But with a Blissey, I think it just comes down to whether you get Dugged or not. And many Dugs rely on beat up rather than Adamant Earthquake to eliminate Blissey. So the beat up's not strong enough anymore. I think Blissey might in fact beat the Doug. Unless it's Adamant. I mean, a lot of people forego Adamant for the speed. No, it is Adamant. Is it bulky enough to live after a spike? No, it's not. And this is the issue with special offense, is that you can just... Your whole Doug plan can get thwarted. I think Big Will actually did a great job of concealing... Maybe not concealing Blissey, but not going to it. Identifying that it's special offense, probably with a Doug, probably aiming to defeat and beat down Blissey. You don't want to let them have it too easily. Even if the play looks awkward with the Fortress and the Gengar and all that. But this is tough, because if this is Agility Gross with Rock Slide, this could beat you completely. It's choosing to mash for the attack race. Alright. At this stage, Big Will. Maybe you go back swamp it? No, just eliminate the guy. No explosion. And no rock slide from Hiro. And just a zap remaining. Blissey wins, folks. Blissey gets there. I think that, you know, special offense exists to punish teams where your only special wall is Blissey, which is common. But Big Will has showed us that if you can identify the team style, maybe you should play in such a way that doesn't allow them to so easily succeed in their plan. Pretend you don't have a Blissey. Try to use other Pokemon to take out the special threats so you don't get as overwhelmed. Even though it didn't go too well with the explode into the Gengar situation, I think that the overall plan from Big Will was very successful and very intelligent here. So well played. Well done. That was a great showcase of how to play against special offense with Blissey as your sole special wall, which can be a rough matchup. And now we have a best of 3 set between the two teams. Played between Sheik of the Claydols against Sadlysius of the Scythe Lords. Who's going to come out on top? Who's going to do it? Scarm entering on the Earthquake. That's a good start for Sadlysius. A Focus Punch to beat down the Skarmory with a significant 42% damage. This could represent Sheik having a Claydol in the back. Happy to let Scarm spike and just punch it repeatedly. And Sadlysius chose to roar out to Rattata, so Scarm is indeed getting beaten down. This is one of the ways to answer Skarmory. Let it make its spikes, let it have its day. But you just attack it while it's doing so, you know? And later you can rapid spin and stabilize. Get rid of their value engine. Get it out of the picture. Another Sing Blissey missed this time. It's a little bit rough when you miss the first Sing, because then you've revealed that you have it. But it's still a valuable tool, of course. It will put something to sleep. But what will it put to sleep? That's the real question. Now that it's a known option... Oh, the Crit Thunderbolt is a bit rough. This Blissey is actually under a lot of pressure right now. It's taking a bit too much poison. Probably wants to heal. But the poison is ramping up. The poison is ramping. Blissey's got to exit. You can't just sit there. Instead, Blissey is able to burn multiple sleep turns while that Blissey is frantically trying not to die. So there you go. It goes for a punch that time. On the likely switch out, chipping down the Swampert and the Skarmory pretty well here. And there is a rapid spinner revealed, which makes sense. That's the game plan, is beat down Skarmory, try to rapid spin. Go for the conservative Surf in case of an incoming Gengar spin blocking, and now you've got a crucial chip against this Gengar too. Little jabs, little bits of chip. Setting up for a final blow, Sheik is doing right now. Setting up the groundwork for a finisher. Played around Taunt there. It's scary to just heal against Gengar. You never know if they're going to taunt you or not. So the problem for Sheik is that Blissey is dangerously low. This flinch potential is also a problem. No flinch. No flinch that time. Scarm can chip heal. Wait a minute. Folks, Scarm does not have leftovers. It didn't get thiefed. It's got soft sand. Does the Scarm have soft sand on it, Sheik? Is it a YOLO Scarm with soft sand on it? No, it would have taken way more from Tar. The guy does not have leftovers. It's Thief Scarm itself. No, it's a thief. It's itemless thief. Of course. Of course, that's the most obvious answer. Okay, that thief can come in handy then. But now sadlysius knows it's coming though. If he's astute, if he's identified it. What am I saying? Soft sand. No. Don't be stupid, Jimothy. That's an itemless Skarmory with thief. That's good intel. Sadlysius now knows that one important option is missing, and it's not raw. And you punch the Skarmory. Sheik's plan is coming together. Only one layer to worry about at the moment. Starmie is quite a good switch into this. Bit of mind games about rapid spin versus surf versus healing. I would just heal if I was in Sheik's shoes. But surf is good too, because yeah, you're actually, you're faster than the Gengar. You can easily go above 350 while still being relatively bulky. And a crit surf certainly helps. The Zap might wake up though, so I don't know if you should stay in and surf again. That might be dangerous. Sheik does play it carefully. The Zap didn't wake up, but still. You should be careful in such a position. Starmie is imperative to your victory. Absolutely vital. But now the whole team's revealed, and sadlysius now realizes that Sheik is a bit weak to Zapdos. There's no great Zapdos switch in. There is a Doug trio can come in on Thunderbolt once, but if they click Hidden Power or get sniped, Doug is not exactly the most solid thing on Earth. And now here's the big thing, because you could recover, but then Zap could come in and threaten your life. You did recover. You squeezed it in. You got it. That's pretty crucial, that healing. Gonna cut your losses and exit there. Good Gengar pivot in, though. We know the Skarm has Thief. Is it going to click Thief? No. Bringing Doug in, trying to catch, like, Tyranitar. I guess this is alright. You know what? This kind of stopped the Zapdos from posing a threat. I wonder if Sheik will do another double switch. Forcing out Zapdos with Rock Slide here. Will you do another double switch? Yeah, you do. You went Skarm. I took the play right out of his brain. Now you do the Thief. Now you do the Thief. Ah, the crit is huge, though. The crit is enormous. But the Thief was bigger. This Swampert now doesn't heal anymore. No longer healing. Now, I think you can heal Starmie up and just sack Skarm. Oh, you just eliminate a Gengar. Go for it. Recover would have been even better there because you would have healed in the process. I think Sheik thought that the Zap might come in and you go for the incoming 2-hit. And like I said, the Doug just gets sniped by Hidden Power that time. It was only a matter of time before that one happened. So the Zapdos poses a significant threat for sadlysius. It's a game of cat and mouse. And there's a mind game between recovering or surfing, I would say. You do have the Skarm sack, at least, to do one more crucial pivot so that you don't have to take that Zapdos Thunderbolt. You kind of want a rapid spin, too, at some stage. Just healing. Swampert only has Surf to threaten you. It doesn't have Earthquake, so you do indeed have to do this. And using the Skarm sack here makes sense. I guess you surf here. You just surf here. And it's 29%. It might not be the roll. You might not be able to KO with a roll here. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. You did get the roll. Okay, that's fortunate. There was a chance that that wouldn't have KO'd. And awkwardly, it's just this Zapdos. Because your Blissey got too low early in the game. Thunderwave on the way out. That might be your saving grace, Sheik. Now the Zapdos can be defeated by Tyranitar. And this might be the way, the path to greatness. I mean, the Rock Slide will deal considerable damage, and the crit helps. It does, of course. It does, of course. But something tells me it didn't matter that much. I think a Rock Slide into an Earthquake would have got there regardless. I'm not 100% sure. And an Arrow last. But the Metagross might just... Okay, at worst, I think it's a tie, but then you got Paralyze hacks on your side, right? You have Paralysis in the back pocket. You live the Earthquake. And Mash, as long as Mash hits. That's a KO. Yeah, there it is. Attack Raise? No. I think that, like, you probably don't have Rock Slide, but 2 Mashes should get it. And then there's Parrot chance on your side too. I think Sheik has the upper hand, but there is a world where Sadlysius does win this one. There's 1 Mash. 1 Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt could parry 2? No, it didn't. Just need to connect with a single more Meteor Mash. Oh. Okay. Damn. Down to the wire. It is hard to hit 2 Meteor Mashes, I guess. The odds were probably in Sheik's favor there, but that was not a sure thing. That was not a sure thing. I like the way Sheik played that, but I think the Blissey losing so much health was what caused this Zapdos to be such a problem. The Doug Snipe. The Starmie sack with the Thunder Wave was a great move, but it was just shy of getting there because of the little variance in the end game. And Sadlysius with a Jinx team. That's a very aggressive choice. And it's Lumberry meta lead. That just totally destroys it. Okay. That's like the perfect opener possible. You also got the attack raise, but the Doug follow-up. But the Doug can't KO the guy. Folks. Have you ever seen such a good opener? Jinx in shambles. This is why I don't like Jinx. If you face a Lumberry lead, you just fall. You also rely too heavily on hitting Lovely Kiss. This is exactly why I don't like Jinx. Some people think Jinx is really good. And it can just carry on its own sometimes. But I think it's very high risk. High reward, but high risk. Alright, burning that Claydol paved the way for this Jirachi to not care about Earthquake as much, which is good for Sadlysius. But Snorlax is surely just gonna completely wall Jirachi. Will we see Shadow Ball here? Okay, probably not because you exited, or you don't want to get burnt. You kind of need Snorlax to wall Suicune and Jirachi, and I suppose also it depends what your Snorlax set is. I think it might even be a rest set based on the gameplay here. So a Curse rest set might have wanted, in fact, to Shadow Ball the Gengar there. So maybe it's not Curse Shadow Ball, it's Curse Earthquake. Return. Rest. We're piecing together the puzzle. We are. Sheik with a Jirachi of their own. Oh, Carmine Wars. It's probably, it looks like a Sheik is a pretty defensive team, so I would guess it's like Carmine Wish Jirachi, or maybe Carmine Substitute. Squeezing in one more Carmine. It is Carmine Substitute indeed. If this is Carmine Raw Suicune, then you could create a real advantage here. It's also worth noting that the damn Suicune is faster. Suicune is faster here. I went for the Carmine. Do you fall to another Surf? What a weird one. Instead of thunderbolting, you calm-minded. I think that Sheik expected a rest to happen there and wanted to get ahead of the boosts. But no, just a simple surf. Wait a moment. After this already... This game started in Sheik's favor. But I think that Suicune just absolutely wreaked havoc. Somehow 1v1 the Jirachi. But the Curse Rest Snorlax could still make stuff happen. You're going to explode on it just for pressure. That might do it, honestly. It's damn low. It's burned. It's going to need to rest immediately. No, it's actually Curse Boom. It's not even Curse Rest. I thought it was Curse Rest. I was wrong. I was incorrect. Dodging Fire Blast. Would that have survived with the special defense boost? I actually think it wouldn't have. I think that would have KO'd. It's a very aggressive Jirachi. And Sadlysius is about to take this home. Unless this Suicune makes the greatest miracle on earth happen. It's going to rest up. It better have Sleep Talk. It better have Sleep Talk if you want any chance. It does. It's called rest. That's a death sentence. I'm sadly just gonna calm mind up instead of clicking Thunderbolt. Wary of a pressure stall situation maybe. Or just wants to do more damage simply. And now you're 2-hit as long as the Suicune does not call Calm Mind and somehow beat you. I think you got this, Calm Mind. Oh, it was Calm Mind, but it needs to like surf crit you. It needs to surf crit and then rest back up against the enemy. And it did not, it called rest. Sadlysius, after literally losing Jinx and Dugtrio immediately, literally just Calm Mind Suicune and Calm Mind Jirachi making the entire world bend to their whim. What an insane situation. Well, that was quite the series of games and sets there, wasn't it, folks? Thank you for having me. And I'll see you in the next one. Woohoo.